So some of you will know who Adam Heathcote is and some of you will not. But for those of you who don't, he was a very prominent and high profile pre-off horse racing trader between 2008 and 2010, around that sort of period. And he's the only person I know that has been able to get out of pre-off horse racing what I know is possible. He rose to prominence very quickly and then just as quickly sort of disappeared. And some people are wondering, was he real? What happened to him and stuff like that? And this video will give you answers to all of those questions. So there's a really important reason why I'm doing this video, and it involves Adam. So I am going to give you some background to Adam and everything that he achieved and all of those sort of things, but it is critically important you actually watch this video where Adam makes an appearance, because he will tell you himself why he now needs our support. So yeah, even if you don't watch the middle bit, please watch the bit with Adam in it so that he can tell you himself exactly why I've done this video. So yeah, I thought I would mention that right at the start of the video. So if you're tempted to skip at any point, please don't do so. Wait for Adam to make an appearance. So the whole Adam Heathcote story starts at Exeter University. He was studying at Exeter University when I was invited down there to actually do a presentation to their maths society. And it was all about trading, because they were curious about it, but they didn't really truly understand it. And they wanted to quiz me on different aspects of it and whether this was actually a valid thing, or, you know, they sort of worked out that maybe I was doing something interesting and they wanted to learn more about it. So off I headed to Exeter University and did a presentation to their maths society. At that particular point in time, Adam was studying at Exeter, and curiously, he didn't actually turn up to the Maths Society. Now, he probably wasn't invited or wasn't aware of it, but it's a stunning coincidence that I just happened to turn up in 2006 at Exeter to do this presentation when Adam was actually studying there. So yeah, this was the sort of start of that particular journey. So later that year, Adam became a BetAngel customer. And it was also around this time that we were doing in-person training courses. You know, streaming video over the internet wasn't really a thing back in 2006. And the only way that we could really sort of provide additional training was really to do in-person courses. So Adam booked himself on one of those in-person courses. And what we would often do is we would move them around to different locations. So one of the locations that we used to use was Kempton Racecourse. And basically, people would come up to Kempton Racecourse. We would do the course. You get a beautiful view of the racetrack and stuff there. But of course, it was on a non-racing day. So what Kempton used to do to encourage people to come back and actually witness the racing is they would actually give them a voucher so that they could get free entry to racing at some other point. One evening, I went to Kempton Racecourse using one of the free vouchers that we had given to us during the training course. And lo and behold, who should I bump into at Kempton but Adam Heathcote, who was there with a friend. They decided to come and actually watch some racing. And when I spoke to Adam at this particular point, I sort of said to him, well, you know, have you done much? And he said, well, not really. I haven't really got into it. I'm just considering what I should be doing at this particular moment in time. And I said to him, well, you're at the stage of your career now where you're sort of leaving university, you're trying to decide what to do. So in fact, you may as well give it a go, because you've got nothing to lose. If you can't trade, or there's, you know, you just don't get on with it for whatever reason, you haven't really lost anything and you can continue on your normal career path. But if you do trade and something comes of it, then fantastic. And that was pretty much the sort of last conversation I had with Adam for a little while. He wrote to me to ask for additional information and stuff now and again, as most course attendees did. But I didn't suspect what was about to happen next. So in November 2008, Adam wrote to me and said, would you mind linking to my blog? I'm going to start a blog talking about my trading. And of course I just went, well, yeah, that's fine, because it's nice to show other people doing the stuff that you do. And also I think that, you know, I've taken an unfair amount of stick by when I post stuff, people sort of go, well, you're bound to do that because you've got some software. And yet I knew there was a very burgeoning and big community growing rapidly and lots of things going on out there, but very few people actually really wanted to talk about it. Certainly people who actually really did it. So when he said, can you link to my blog? I thought, well, yeah. And, you know, I didn't really think much about it at that particular point. I had lots of requests like that, and I would often link to people to give them a bit more background and understanding of what's going on out there. So yeah, I linked to his blog. But again, I had absolutely no idea what was about to happen next. But I did warn him. I said to him, if you put your head above the parapet, then you're probably going to get a lot of stress and people will have a go at you for seemingly no valid reason. So just be ready for that, which is, of course, what happened. But also what happened was people began to see what was possible when you're trading pre-off horse racing.
Okay, I trade on horse racing markets on Betfair. I basically look for price movements of the horse before the race with 10 minutes to go. And for example, I'll back the horse at 4-1 and lay it at 3-1, and then I'll profit from the difference.
No idea what that meant at all, but we do think it's something similar to trading in stocks and shares, but on horses, or it could be magic, but we left him to it. Adam, how's it going there?
Yeah, not bad. Just the last race going. I only managed to make £30 in the last race, but not a bad day overall for you guys. I managed to rack up before premium charge, which is the tax that Betfair take off me for winning.
Yeah.
£1,390.
Adam, thank you very much. We've got off to a great start today. Can't thank you enough, so I'm just going to shake your hand.
No problem.
Thank you.
So Adam continued to post on his blog for a fair while, but of course, you know, if you've got nothing to gain really from sharing and posting your results and you're getting a lot of stick for it, then that is something that really sort of puts you off. And I know it puts off a lot of people who do this full time or who've been very successful. They're just saying it's not worth it. And I can totally get where they're coming from. And I know that some of the criticism and some of the abuse and, you know, stuff that Adam got did hurt him, because he's genuinely a nice guy. And it was also completely unfair as well. So over time, his blog started to sort of, you know, peter out, excuse the pun. But that is sort of what happened on that side of things. He posted less and less, and there seemed to be little point in continuing to post when he wasn't getting that much satisfaction from it. But ultimately, the thing that sort of put a knife into Adam's Betfair trading career was the premium charge, because while Adam enjoyed trading and did all of those things, one of his passions was the sort of holistic health and stuff like that, and travel and so on. And one of his ambitions was to always head in that direction, was to do something along those lines and make a difference in that particular part of the industry and within his world. So he wanted to head in that direction. Betfair introduced the premium charge, and he did try and mitigate that, as lots of us did at that particular point in time. Betfair pulled him up for that, and it was at that point that he put his energy into his next venture, which was a company called Health and Fitness Travel. He set that up with somebody else, and they were promoting sort of wellness travel and stuff, and you know, that was one of his passions. So that was a sort of a natural step for him to head on to. So that was this thing that stopped his Betfair trading career, but also pushed him off in a different direction. So as Adam continued his career with Health and Fitness Travel, I kept an eye on things just to see what they were doing and stuff like that, but I didn't really have much correspondence with Adam. It sort of just faded away, really. And you sort of naturally would expect that, because I was very much in his past and he was obviously looking forward to what he could do with his company. And so lines of communication just eventually sort of went silent, really. And not so long ago, I saw that he'd resigned as a director of Health and Fitness Travel. So that sort of just piqued my curiosity. So I dropped him a note, but never got a reply. So I sort of assumed that maybe he didn't want to keep in contact with the past. Some people are forward looking and don't want to reflect on those sort of things. So I sort of left it there. But the other week, I got a message from somebody which pointed to a GoFundMe page, which was run by a chap called Paul Heathcote, who I recognised as Adam's brother. And what I actually found on there was absolutely shocking, because unfortunately, Adam hasn't had the best of time with his health. And as a consequence, he's struggling with a variety of different types of illnesses and problems. And his brother had actually set up a GoFundMe page to raise money for Adam's treatment. And rather than try and reinterpret and give you an understanding of exactly what's going on, I asked Adam if I could actually use some clips from his videos to actually explain exactly the situation that he's in.
Hi everyone, I wanted to give an update and just some more details really about my condition, and well, firstly a really big thank you to everyone that's contributed and supported me in my brother's fundraiser so far. I think he's doing okay on the walk, I hear, although it sounds a bit challenging. So thank you very much. It's I'll say I didn't mention in the last video about much about the corneal neuralgia. It's a broad term. Mine's more specifically called ocular neuropathic pain. It's like the whole of the ocular surface is has severe pain when open to the air. I think it's called allodynia, just extreme hypersensitivity and just to air. So I need to keep my eyes closed all the time to avoid severe pain. And this pain, if I left my eyes open for a minute, more than a minute or something, it begins to get sort of suicidal pain. It's like having a like a I don't know, like a dagger going through the body all the way down, and like a blowtorch on the eye, and it's I never knew pain could, or this, I call it beyond pain, but I never knew it could exist in this manner.
So when I discovered what had happened to Adam, it was heartbreaking, really, because he's one of the most genuine guys I've ever met within this industry, which is rare. And also he was just genuinely nice. There was nothing, he's one of those rare people where there was nothing that you could say negatively about Adam. A very positive person. And he just wanted to do all of those things. He enjoyed life and so on. So it was heartbreaking when I saw the situation that he now finds himself in. So I had to do something about it. Now, I've tweeted and done all of the normal things on social media channels, but I thought it was important that I did a YouTube video as well, because not only can I tell you about the story of where he came from and how he got there, but also to highlight the plight that he's in now. It's, not deserving to be on anybody, but especially Adam, because he was such a nice guy. I know that he inspired a lot of people on their Betfair trading journeys when they saw what was possible. And I don't think it's asking too much for people that were inspired by that to try and help him in his moment of need. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to tell Adam that it's really important to understand that he's got all of our support, and we're going to try and do what we can to try and help him get over this. And also, I know he's a really positive person, and I know he's always very forward thinking. So, Adam, keep on focusing on trying to get better here. We're all behind you, and I'm sure that we're all going to show our support for you in whatever way that we can. So yeah, that's the Adam Heathcote story. It doesn't have a happy ending at the moment, but I'm sure that with our help, he will have one.